Have you guys heard of it yet? Heard of it before? Yeah, no, yeah, a little bit of mix. So this is actually the book my work book club picked. So we've been reading it, and we are going to discuss like the entire thing this Thursday. So finishing it all this week. He also wrote The Martian, or that movie. Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, with Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't read that book, but from the people I know who've read The Martian and Project Hail Mary, they all say Project Hail Mary is better. So I can't say that myself, but I've heard that from multiple people. And it also reminds me of that video or that movie that's kind of trending right now, Don't Look Up. So kind of along the same lines as like Earth is going to end. They found some issue, and now the goal is to obviously try and prevent that from happening. It's a really interesting book. It starts out with the main character. His name's Ryland Grace, and he basically just wakes up on this ship and is kind of like, where am I? He can't remember anything, and has amnesia. And then it's the first few chapters are him just piecing together like where he is, why he's there, and turns out he's in space in this like spaceship and has to remember his mission basically and why he's there, because he's not an astronaut, he's a high school science teacher. So very odd for him to be in this situation, and you kind of along the whole book get more info into how he wound up to be in this position. And it is kind of interesting how that unfolds throughout the book. The difference I would say between this primarily and the Don't Look Up, whereas Don't Look Up, it's like an asteroid, which we've seen, I think, time and time again. Like, what's that movie with Bruce Willis?
Armageddon.
Yeah. Okay, so Armageddon, Don't Look Up, the kind of asteroid's coming, it's going to kill us all, dinosaur, D-Day again, all that fun stuff. Well, it's not fun, but all that stuff. This is, in fact, a little different in the sense of it's a basically there's a substance that they don't know in the beginning that's eating our sun. So our sun is getting less and less bright, less and less hot, and they are projecting like within 40 years, the earth isn't going to be habitable because we're not going to have sunlight for crop. We're not going to be able to feed ourselves. It's going to be too cold, and Earth will eventually end because this mysterious thing is eating the light from our sun. And so the book does like flashbacks to Ryland Grace's time on Earth and them uncovering everything and telling the world and his part and how he helps to uncover that. But then it also transitions to his time on the ship and how he's acting to try and, I'm trying to not give away too many spoilers, but how he's in the moment trying to help solve the issue. One of the coolest things in it, this is kind of a little spoiler, but not that much. He does meet another life form when he's in space. And it's really cool because I have grown to love this character, and I never thought I would care about this whole random weirdo thing. Extraterrestrial type thing. But the coolest part is that it's not like the typical alien that you would think of, you know, how they're typically depicted with a head and arms and appendages like us. It's a completely novel idea of what another race could look like that grew up on a different planet, and it goes into like their evolution and everything and how and why they got to be the type of species they are. So
cool. Is it because I like science fiction, but sometimes science fiction books get very sciencey. Is this one like very like sciencey?
it is, but imagine it's your like fun high school teacher telling you about science, not the like a scientist who like spends day in day out and uses words over your head. Like everything that's described in the book is very much easy to comprehend. Granted, I don't really read it that in depth. Like if they start talking about like gravity and shit like that, I'm like, oh, skimming that. I don't even know what it is. But
through gravity.
Yeah, like what is that? I don't know.
Actually, 9.8.
I do know what gravity is. I feel like I should specify. But it's the writing is really good, especially I think it's only his second book. I could be wrong on that. but it's a lot more of a like narrative story. It's a very good story and easy to read. It's not jam-packed with like things that are over your head or too many words.
It doesn't get like monotonous or boring.
Not at all. It's from someone who typically reads a lot of fantasy novels. I'm surprised at how much I like this book. I would rate it an A minus.
Dang.
Yeah. And I've already recommended it to people. I think if you want something different, you know, if you want to step out of a world of witches and
dragons
and, you know, men with wings, like world. But this is a really good book, a really good story, and very easy to like get caught up in, kind of like you would a fantasy book.
Well, and it's not a series; it's a standalone book.
Yeah, standalone, and it's
we've had this problem lately of starting books that are series, but all these books in the series aren't out yet. So this would be a good change.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 of them we didn't know that they weren't finished. So
yeah, good recommendation. How many pages?
It's 480.
Not bad.
it's not bad.
No, it's pretty good length, and it's it doesn't drag on. Like I don't feel like, oh wow, they could have skipped this chapter. I really like the flip back and forth between like present day and past. I think
so. It's not like the book we're currently reading. It's like dragging on.
No, the print is quite large. You see it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That matters. Our book right now, Boys in the Boat, has tiny ass little print.
Yeah.
It's trying to sneak more words on the page.
If he describes like
Rowing.
yeah, and like the mental stamina needed by the players and how you have to all be if he does that one more time, I'm just gonna like throw my book away.
Do it.
I'm done.
I will also say that Project Hail Mary has a lot of like humor in it, so it's not all serious. There are a couple things that I actually kind of chuckled to myself. I'm not going to go as far as say laugh out loud, but chuckled to myself.
Okay, so you rated it an A minus.
A minus, yeah. I hope you all read it. I do. My dad read it. Our dad. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's how I heard about it because he was telling me that I should read it, but he's like, I gave the book to Madeline though. Okay.
I made him sign it. You should have seen his face when I asked him to sign it. He's like, my name? Yes, preferably.
He just writes a random name.
He rated it as well. So Scott rated it a B plus. I went A minus because I would read it again, and I also hope they make it into a movie, and I would totally watch the movie. Yeah.
Good.
So I think if you liked Don't Look Up, Armageddon, Interstellar, that type of genre, and you also like to read, you should read Project Hail Mary.